Hello, once again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Hometown Football League Season 2. We are playing our second game of week number 3. Hello there, everybody. Big Paulie coming to you as I set up the old game here. It's going to be Minnesota at Cincinnati. Minnesota coming in 2-0, and Cincinnati 1-1 on the early second season here of the HTFL. Minnesota, a pretty solid team. Cincinnati, not too bad themselves. And we're going to get this game started. Trying to sneak this in. I don't know if I'm going to be on with Virginia Rob tonight, picking winners in the NFL for this second playoff week coming up. Play concluded as I record this. I'm the recording date, and I say hello to Ella, my cat, who is noticing my chitter chatter and wants to play with me and wants to pet me and all of that. She just woke up after taking a nap most of the day. It's 3:54 in the afternoon, and we're going to get started with this game. 62 degrees and a 10 to 20 mile an hour wind at Paul Brown Stadium. I play as Cincinnati. The computer will play as Minnesota. Hello, Ella. How are you? Ella has now been here. This is her third day. I picked her up from Friends of Strays here in St. Petersburg on Sunday. Yes, I did. Uh, so stand by, folks. We're gonna have a few interruptions. You see the quarterback matchup before you. She just woke up, and I just fed her. But she'll want to play with me and want to hang around with me, so I'm going to be a little distracted. Coin toss was won by Cincinnati. We'll defer to the second half. That's what most NFL teams do. If it was me, I would just want the ball and get started on offense right away. But no, that's not how NFL teams do it. I got reacquainted with last week that little axiom. Ishmael, Nelson, and Jones back deep for Minnesota, and we'll set the lineups for you. Taken by Darren Nelson, I do believe. He returns it to 28 yards from the 5 to the 33, and we'll set the lineup for Minnesota's offense. Peterson and Kleinsasser are your running backs. Chris Carter and Stephon Diggs are your wide receivers. Diggs, of course, the hero of the Minneapolis Miracle a few years ago. Tarkenton is your quarterback. Steve Jordan is your tight end. And the offensive line, Zimmerman, McDaniel, Tingelhoff, White, and Yeri. So Fran calling signals for Minnesota on 1st and 10 at the 33. And we'll set the Cincinnati defense for you shortly as Ella is getting into my things. Tarkenton to Carter for 17 yards. I'm on a little bit of a schedule here, Ella. Defensively for Cincinnati, it's Dunlap, Smith, and Atkins, and Reed. Those are your front four. Spikes, Berge, and Burfict are your linebackers. Parrish, Riley, Casanova, and Nelson are your defensive backs. So Cincinnati plays without a 10 on defense. Receiving rise, Minnesota has a 10 in Chris Carter, and they have 4 10s on the O line. So Minnesota should be dominant, at least when they have the ball, and we'll get to their defense, which is no slouch, in just a moment. Peterson gaining 8 yards, Adrian Peterson, and that's going to make it 2nd and 2. Ball at the 42-yard line. You know, they say curiosity kills cats. 2nd and 2 at the 14. No, I am not suggesting harm to Ella. I just got her, for heaven's sakes.
Encroachment, defense, number 96, 5-yard penalty.
And not Harry, but Ella. Harry is my old cat. I spent most of the day today archiving the footage I have on camcorder of Harry, and I'm going to put that up on my regular civilian channel, not this Sports Sims channel, because I started a Facebook page for Ella Bella, And everybody seemed to like her debut on Facebook, so I figured that might be a way to go. That's how Grumpy Cat got started, or something like that. First and 10 at the 37. And it's Tarkenton who's going to scramble, and he scrambles well, but only gains a yard. Burfict is hurt, out for a few plays, so the linebacker core now Spikes, Berge, and Francis. We'll profile Francis. I always like to look at the players coming in. James Francis out of Baylor, early 90s Bengal. And now that sets up a 2nd and 9, ball at the 36. A cool day here in Tampa as I record this, in the upper 50s. Nothing for you people up north, of course, but we have all the humidity that comes with colder weather. Tarkenton to Jordan, a gain of 24 yards down to the 12, and with 12:48 left to go in the first quarter, it's a 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line, so it's not a 1st and goal. The give to Peterson, no gain. Reed on the tackle for Cincy. 2nd and 10, the ball resting at the 12 at Paul Brown Stadium. And if I didn't mention the weather report, 62-mile-an-hour winds, and Minnesota has the wind advantage of 10 to 20 mile an hour. It must be that same frontal system that caused havoc with our first game in Buffalo. 3rd and 5, ball at the 7. Minnesota can get a first without scoring, but Tarkenton's going to get the points anyway. Touchdown, Vikings. So a 7-yard scramble for Tarkenton, who was known for that in his playing days in the 60s and 70s. Point after try will be good by Walsh. It is 7-0 in favor of Minnesota. And right now we have Watson, Jones, and Brooks back deep for the Bengals, who are having just another manic Sunday. And that kick goes out of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati will be going into the wind, at least till we get to the 2nd and 3rd quarters. Their lineup offensively, Dillon and Kennebrew are your running backs. Hushmanzada and Green, your wideouts. A.J. Green now plays with Arizona, of course. Dan Ross is the tight end. The very accurate Ken Anderson for his day is at quarterback. Munoz, Steinbach, Johnson, Montoya, and Anderson, your offensive lineman. But Munoz is a 10+. Of course, he's a Hall of Famer, and we'll get to a very stout Minnesota defense in just a moment. Off tackle right, Corey Dillon. Yeah, now that I'm taking care of Ella, I wanted to archive Harry, so that's what I'm doing now. As to what has happened with Harry, I don't know. He's either gone or he's with another family, and either way, I wish him well. Crossing route, the medium crossing route, that's completed, and that is a gain of 15 for Hushmanzada, who got hurt but will remain in the game. Defensively for Minnesota, Eller, Dolman, Page, and Randall, your front four. Blair, Simeon, Blair and Simeon are your linebackers. Bryant, Rhodes, Browner, Krause, Smith are your defensive backs. I was playing a 3-wide set, so let me show you Minnesota's usual lineup, which would be Blair, Simeon, Winston at linebacker, Bryant, Rhodes, Browner, Krause. 1st and 10, the ball at the 34. We're going to go Green over the middle on a slant. Throw is incomplete, looking for Chris Collinsworth. Collinsworth comes in as the 3rd wide receiver. Of course, he is now an analyst on NBC with Al Michaels. They will call Super Bowl 56 in a few weeks. In fact, they'll be calling the Bucs game against the Rams this Sunday afternoon. Or as Musburger would say, afternoon. Off tackle right, 2nd and 10. Yes, Musburger did that. He turned the ER of afternoon into an A. Go watch the tapes. 6, 3rd and 4. Ball now at the 40. A.J. Green will get the ball on a slant, or so we hope. And a sack. Randall coming in, lowering the boom on Kenny Anderson. And that's going to set up 4th and 10. Pat McAnally will punt. And West recovers. A good return for him of 13 yards. The punt going 41, the net being 28. So we've set the lineups for you. 7:28 left to go. A 1st and 10 at the 38 for the Vikings, who already lead 7-0 as Ella continues to play around. I set up boxes for Ella. I had to get a whole bunch of things from Walmart for her because I didn't have the sense enough to keep Harry's stuff, and I didn't think a new cat would want his stuff. So when I was moving, I threw all the old cat stuff away, and I got new cat stuff for Ella. 2nd and 10 at the 38. And I didn't think about getting a new cat until like last week.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 80. 5-yard penalty.
Okay, that's against Chris Carter. Back up the Vikings 5. 2nd and 15. Ball to 33. Had something good happen financially, and I was like, let's just get a pet. Just going to get a pet. 2nd and 15 at the 33. Ella had a birthday on January 13th as Diggs catches that from Tarkenton, a gain of 14 yards. But the day before her birthday, she was put up for adoption. So I was very, very lucky to get her. Ella is a orange and white cat. I know you all are tired about me talking about my cat. 3rd and 1, the ball at the 47. Kind of looks like Harry, but Ella is much smaller. She's about half Harry's size. She's 2 years old. So she got a birthday present being with me, I guess. 1st and 10 at the 48. 6:28 left to go. Of course, the Vikings are looking for a new head coach for 2022. Gain of 3 for Peterson. Atkins on the tackle for Cincinnati. 2nd and 7 at the 49 of Cincy now. Minnesota trying to pad that 7-0 lead. Peterson, gain of 2, and that's it. Bill Berge on the tackle. Berge also went on and played with the Eagles. I'm not talking about Don Henley and the late Glenn Fry. I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. 3rd and 5 at the 47. 5:06 to go. You gotta understand, these games are therapy for me, what I go through. Gain of 12 for Peterson. Casanova on the tackle, and Minnesota, especially with that wind advantage, cannot be stopped right now. 1st and 10 at the 35. Peterson, a gain of 12 last week, which really was last week against Jacksonville. He gained 137 yards. Took 31 carries for him to do that, so his average was not all that great. 1st and 10 at the 23 with 3:26 to go. And it's Tarkenton looking for Carter, incomplete. Kenny Riley with a stalwart defensive effort. And it's now 2nd and 10, the ball resting at the 23. 2:43 left in the opening quarter. Tarkenton looking to throw. Intercepted. And that'll change momentum. Parrish with it, his first pick of the year. And Cincinnati now with new life with 2:33 to go. They've only run the ball twice. And they've thrown the ball twice. So let's see what happens here. Trapped right with Corey Dillon. Might be a good idea to run the ball a little bit with Cincinnati going into the wind, but Dillon loses a yard, drilled by Winston. Let's show you Mr. Winston. Roy Winston played on those Purple People Eaters. He had 3 tackles and a pick last week. 2nd down and 11. A.J. Green, medium cross. Boy, talk about a team that went downhill fast. Taking the 2021 Arizona Cardinals, who started the year 7-0, and they have already been vamoosed from the Super Bowl tournament, losing 34-11 to the Rams last night as I record this. Gain of 10. It's now 3rd and 1. Double tight end set. Off tackle left. Corey Dillon. Very rarely in the NFL will you see a team start so hot and fade so fast. Once in a while it happens. That's a first down, by the way, for Dillon. Gain of 3. We have 56 seconds now left in the quarter, so we only got a couple of plays left. Back to a 3-wide set. Over the middle will go Turkey Neck himself, Chris Collinsworth. That's incomplete. Well, don't get mad at me. He does have a very big neck. Trap right, Dillon. This will probably be the final play of the half, and Corey Dillon, a gain of 7. Here in the Tampa Bay area, for many years, there was a local female DJ named Corey Dillon. I believe she's in another market now. I follow her on Facebook. That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, 7-0 in favor of the Vikings. Her name is Dylan, like Bob. So there you go. 106 yards, 16 plays for Minnesota. Tarkenton went 4 for 7 and 67 yards. They did pretty decently running the ball, 9 for 39. Peterson, 7 for 31. Cincinnati trying to get the lead out here in this game. They ran 9 plays for 33 yards. Anderson's 2 for 4, 25 yards. Dillon did all the rushing for Cincinnati, 5 for 14. 3rd and 3. As we start the second quarter, it's going to be a short pass, and we're going to look to Ross, the tight end. But Minnesota's playing short and tight. We're going to make it a medium hitch instead. Man in motion. There were a whole bunch of Bengals in the area, but none of them could come up with the ball. So it's punting time, and there goes McAnally. He is at the line of scrimmage, being the 46. We're going to sideline punt it, take a little off. And West with it. He returns it 4 yards. And the ball now at the 22 of Minnesota. Man in motion. I always think of that John Parr song for the movie St. Elmo's Fire that had a lot of the great young actors and actresses of the 80s in it, like Demi Moore and Ali Sheedy and Rob Lowe. Whatever happened to those people? Well, anyway, 1st and 10 at the 22 as Tarkenton is in the gun again, and it's Peterson gaining 6 yards this time, and he stepped out of bounds. Maybe he wasn't intending to step out of bounds, but he did so indeed. 2nd and 4 at the 28. Second quarter just beginning. And Peterson gets it again, a yard, setting up 3rd and 3. I think Ella has gone to rest on my bed. The throw, incomplete.
Holding. Offense. Number 53. 10-yard penalty.
And we'll decline it since it would set up 4th down, and we will await the punt. And that is Jones, a return of 10 yards. And Cincinnati sets up business at the 43, so not pretty decent field position for the Bengals as I hear Ella going at it again. Meow. She's got the sweetest little meow I have ever heard on a cat. And we're going to go Dillon in the 3-wide set. Just try to cross up Minnesota a little bit. Gain of 4. Alan Page on the stop. Used to call Reggie White the Minister of Defense. Page went on and became a Supreme Court justice in the state of Minnesota, I do believe. 2nd and 6. We're going to go to the tight end, Ross. That's caught, and that's a 1st down, a gain of 9. Paul Krause on the tackle for Minnesota. Of course, Minnesota's famous for going to 4 Super Bowls, not consecutively, and losing all 4. They lost Super Bowl 4 to Kansas City. They lost Super Bowl 8 to Miami, 9 to Pittsburgh, and 11 to Oakland. So they lost to 4 different teams. 1st and 10, ball to 44. If you want to watch Super Bowl 11, you can watch it on YouTube. the NBC footage from that. Of course, that was John Madden. It's very hard for me to say the late John Madden still, but he has been gone now a few weeks. I don't think anybody contributed more to the NFL than John did. Medium fly to green. Coach, broadcaster, video game creator. True
Pass
story.
interference, defense. Number 22, automatic, first down.
They booked Smith for pass interference. The fifth defensive back, Harrison Smith, he's out on Notre Dame. I had at one point the first ever John Madden computer game for the Apple. I didn't have an Apple computer, but I was working at a radio station that I thought would be compatible with playing Madden, and I thought I could play Madden during breaks. And that's a first down for Corey Dillon, and the game was for 11 yards. It was not compatible for my work computer, and they probably would have gotten very pissed off at me if I had tried to play it, so, you know. Things work out sometimes when you don't think they do. Collinsworth, a medium out on 1st and 10 at the 19. Their throw complete, and that was an outlet pass to Dillon, who gains 9. And that's going to set up a 2nd and 1 from the 10. Computer saying I'm playing off tackle right, off tackle left too much. Okay, so I'll put Kennebrew in a stretch. But here are Minnesota playing short and tight, I notice on the audible. So we're just going to fly it to green and hope we can get a touchdown. Underneath, Dillon, touchdown, Bengals. Corey Dillon has the Bengals a point away from a tie game. 7-6. And your point after try, we do the extra points.
Defense. 5-yard penalty.
From the conventional spot of the 3-yard line, and the kicks are usually from the 10. We like to play the old school rules as much as we can here at the Hometown Football League. Graham with the extra point being good, 7-7. Offsides penalty against Minnesota, so Cincinnati, speaking of old school, they'll be kicking from the 40 here. And we'll kick at an angle. See if we can catch Minnesota doing something stupid. Nelson, a 13-yard return out to the 20 from the 7-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 20. One thing I always notice about football is there are situations where there's something that occurs on the touchdown or the extra point, and there's a penalty assessed on the kickoff, and say it's a 15-yard penalty. Now let's start Minnesota up here. 1st and 10 from the 20. It's Tarkenton. Peterson, a gain of 6. Tarkenton now 5 of 9 for 73 yards. And they kick from the 50. A penalty occurs, and there's a kick from the 50-yard line. You never see teams try an onside kick from the 50 after that happens. 2nd and 4 to ball at the 26. Or they don't try some sort of pooch on the kickoff, and try to pin the team receiving the ball deep. 1st down as Peterson picks up 4. Vontez Perfect on the stop. He is recovered from an earlier injury. Peterson, 6-yard gain. Minnesota still controlling the line of scrimmage, even though we are tied at 7-7. Now a 2nd and 4. The ball at the 36. Incomplete. And that sets up 3rd and 4. Ball is now at the 36 still. Hasn't moved. The throw complete to
Grabbing
Diggs.
the face mask. Defense. Number 24. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
That is a gain of 15 yards, and there's going to be 15 more on top of that with the face mask call. That moves Minnesota all the way to the Cincinnati 44. It's going to be 1st and 10 from there. 6:55 left in the half. Peterson, a gain of 3. We have Atkins coming out, his return being questionable. And that's going to put Tim Crumry into the game. He's out of Wisconsin, played in the Super Bowl 23, and famously got hurt early in the game and was not able to continue. And I don't remember if Crumry ever came back. Second and 7, the ball at the 41. Minnesota trying to take the lead again. Score is tied right now to Collinsworth, a gain of 6, setting up third and a yard. Ball at the 35. Give this to Peterson. Did Peterson get the first? They measure, and he did indeed get it. Move the chains, and this will be the 10th play of the drive for the Vikes with 5:59 left to go. Peterson, this time he's trapped behind the line by Takeo Spikes. And Spikes moves Minnesota back a yard as I hear Ella play with her toys. Second and 11 now. Peterson will get the first down. A nice gain of 14. And Peterson's a little winded. They're going to put Robert Smith in the game. So far, Peterson, as I show you the stat screen, 15 carries and 65 yards. So Smith now, a 4 receiver, goes in. He's got Collinsworth blocking for him. That's over the middle to Chris Carter. Tarkenton in his last game threw it for exactly 300 yards and 3 TVs. And threw 1 pick. That was against Jacksonville. First and goal at the 9. Play number 13. Unlucky for Minnesota. That's an incompletion. Second and goal at the 9. Collinsworth, incomplete.
Holding.
I'm sorry,
Offense.
Tarkenton, incomplete.
Number 73, 10-yard
He was looking for
penalty.
Jim Torton. And now, let's see. It was second and 9. We're going to back him up and set up a second and goal from the 19. What did I say Collinsworth for? Good heavens. The throw incomplete, looking for Carter. One of those across the grain throws. Joe Montana made that a thing back in the 80s. And you always thought of quarterbacks throwing to the side of the field they're on, and Montana very frequently would just go to like the right side and throw to the left. See Pat Mahomes do a lot of that now for Kansas City. Third and goal at the 19. Tarkenton. He's got a touchdown to Stephon Diggs. So Tarkenton 19 yards to Diggs, who didn't need the sideline for a touchdown that was unbelievable, mimicking Joe Buck's call, that touchdown there. Minneapolis Miracle. 13-7, here's Walsh for the point after. 14-7. I've heard that call a few times over the last few years. So Cincinnati back to square one. They were a touchdown down to start the game. Now they're a touchdown down again with 2:32 left to go. It's Watson, it's Jones, it's Brooks back deep. So Cincinnati's going to get their pass on. And remember, they get the ball to start the second half. Jones, a 31-yard return. Hannon making the tackle for Minnesota. And we have a 1st and 10 at the 34. Collinsworth's going to come in. He will play as the third wide receiver. We're going to go to the fly route to Hushman Sada, 1st and 10. That's incomplete, a little too far. And now Ella is running around. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Screen to Corey Dillon. Screen, and it was caught, but the Bengals probably wish he didn't catch it. Loss of 3 yards. That sets up 3rd and 13. We'll put Anderson in the gun, medium pass. And we're going to look to the man who could get us the most yardage, which would be Chris Collinsworth. 2:06 left to go. That's incomplete. So it's 3 and out for the Bengals. And McAnally will come in to punt. We'll see how far the punt was. Only 45 with a wind at your back. West, a 6-yard return from the 24 to the 30. 1:55 left to go, so we have passed the 2-minute warning stage. Vikings with 2 timeouts, Bengals with 3 timeouts, and each team still has their challenge. 1:55, I think I already said that. Left in the half. It's Tarkenton throwing to Kleinsasser. And did he get out of bounds? He did. A pick up the 13, so Minnesota doesn't have to burn a timeout. With a minute 42 to go. 1st and 10. Ball now up to the 43. That is Diggs and Minnesota with back-to-back completions. A gain of 6 yards. 2nd and 4. The ball at the 49. It's Tarkenton. Fires it deep. Incomplete. Diggs the intended receiver. 3rd and 4 now. 1:26 left. The ball at the 49. Tarkenton. And he finds number 28, Adrian Peterson. A 1st and 10 at the 43 of the Bengals. And a fumble there, recovered by Minnesota. It was, we do not know. No, it was covered by Tarkenton. It was a high snap covered by Tarkenton. Tarkenton just decided to eat the ball. Not literally, of course. 2nd and 14, the ball at the 47. We're down to a $1:11 on the clock. Minnesota with a timeout left in hand. Kleinsasser with the catch, a gain of 4. I'm not calling timeouts. And Minnesota uses their last. 3rd and 10, ball at the 43. Kleinsasser gains 3. Now Cincinnati will call a timeout. 4th and 7 at the 40. I'm just going to let it roll. Hope it goes to the touchback. It does. No, I'm sorry. It's dead at the 3. I thought that was going into the end zone, but it took a spin backwards right in front of the goal line. And now, with 41 seconds left, we'll have to be very cautious here. We're going to go Dillon. It's going to be a safe play here. Dive over the middle. And he loses a yard, but that is okay. 33 seconds left because we're just going to run the clock out. Nothing we could do there. So at halftime, it's 14-7 in favor of the Vikings. How you doing, everybody? Big Paulie back with you. The Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel is my channel. Put up videos at least one a day and sometimes more. Back after a 3-month hiatus, a little over 3 months. We don't like this. There's the pro wrestling tour, and we're going to have a baseball project coming up when the 2022 season starts, if it ever does, because they're still in a lockout situation. Major League Baseball is. We're going to play 1977, I am thinking. And also, if you are on Facebook, you can check out the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims Facebook channel. And I just started today a Facebook group for Ella Bella, the Ella Bella fan page. So I mentioned that on there too. I don't know. I like cats. Shoot me. Cincinnati will receive. Let's start the second half. I wasn't always like that. My dad liked dogs, but I always liked cats. I don't know why. Tarkenton, 14 for 22. He has 159 yards, a pick, and a touch. 228 yards is the total offensive number for Minnesota. Adrian Peterson, 15 carries and 65 yards. As a team, they have 18 for 69. For Cincinnati, not very good. Anderson, 6 for 11, 50 yards. Corey Dillon has all 8 carries for 28 yards. And they only have 72 yards to show for themselves in the first half. But things could change in half number 2. Third quarter about to start. Watson Jones, Brooks. About to go deep. They are deep for Cincinnati. It'll be a touches. The kick goes 8 yards deep into the end zone, and Cincinnati was not feeling brave. Dive to Kennebrew on first down. We'll give him a carry. That is a gain of 4. Kraus making the stop for the Vikings. And now Cincinnati going 3 wide. They've done that before. Ross over the middle on a slant. And he got separation. And that's good for an 11-yard gain and a first down for Cincinnati. Just starting the second half, if you queued up to this point. And we're going to pitch it right to Corey Dillon on first and 10 from the 35. And Dillon with a nice pickup. Gain of 10 and a first down. Minnesota will challenge the spot.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. A timeout will be charged.
But the challenge did not go their way, so they lose their challenge and a timeout for the remainder of the second half. And we're going to jet sweep it to Green. First and 10. They're in a 3-wide set, but...
False start. Offense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Steinbach was not set, and that's going to set up a first and 15. We'll go Dillon again, and we're going to sweep it right, which is a good play to run for Cincinnati when they're on the outside. They could use the blocking of Anthony Munoz. Winston hurt on that last play, shook it off. He will stay in. Second and 9, the ball at the 46. And we're going to go Kennebrew on a screen. Try to get him some touches. He's got it. And how far will he go? That is a pickup of 9. They measure. He is just short. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Double tight end set. We're going to run it to the inside. And Dillon will be the ball carrier. On third and inches, he's got the first down. Could have given it to Ken Anderson, who was never a bad runner. And right now, you got a first and 10. That was the replay of the last play. As Ella has my attention. All Ella, all the time on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Limbs channel. No, I'm kidding. Collinsworth on a cross. First and 10 at the 43. Incomplete. I think Ella wants to do some color commentary. Second and 10. The ball at the 43-yard line. Some of you have animals who will get your attention while you're trying to stream something here or record something. Second and 10 at the 43. Medium fly route to Green. That's caught. Nice throw and a nice catch for A.J. Green. Move the chains. It's now at the Minnesota 29-yard line. In the coming days, I still want to do a review of Cyberlink Video Producer 20/365. Having fun with that. Right now, sweep to the right, Corey Dillon. Be an off the beaten path series. And sometimes we do, when we do off the beaten path, we don't do sports games. I did Kerbal Space Program one about a year or so ago. Back right before they did the first SpaceX launch, putting men back into orbit. Hey, I live in Florida. Cape Canaveral's over on the other coast, so space program kind of interests me. Of course, they have done several missions since then. Trap right, Kennebrew will get the handoff, and did he get the first down? No, it's short. 37% of chance of reversing the ruling on the field. I will keep the challenge flag in my pocket. Now it's third and inches, ball to 19. Remember I was saying Kenny Anderson would be a good choice to run the ball. We're going to do a quarterback dive over the middle with him. He gets the first down, a pickup of 2. It's now a first and 10 at the 17. Dillon at 89%. We could use him a few more plays, and then he'd be subbed out. We're going to go pitch right. And Dillon with a pass to 15. Down at the 10, a gain of 7. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 10. Double tight end set. Cincinnati needing a little more oomph in the running game now that they're in the red zone. Sweep it left with Rudy Johnson, now in the game, number 32. A fumble recovered by Minnesota and Carl Eller. No, not Ella, Eller. So Minnesota takes over. Huge play for the Vikings as it looked like Cincinnati was about to tie the game. 1st and 10 at the 10 for the Vikings. They got 90 yards to pay dirt. Pitch, Peterson, 1st down, pickup of 12. It was Casanova making the stop. There was a pop song called Casanova in the 80s, and I have temporarily forgotten who it was that performed that. Somebody in the comments section will tell me. By the way, you're watching this on YouTube, because where else are you going to watch this? You could be watching it on my Facebook channel, of course, Big Polly's World of Sims, Sports Sims Facebook group. Leave that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. It'll help the algorithm. It'll help people find the channel. 1st and 10 at the 22 now for the Vikings. And that's a pickup of 14 yards as Peterson zigged and zagged through the line. Nelson on the tackle for Minnesota. Peterson now at 91 yards. It's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 36. It's Tarkenton to Carter, a gain of 8 yards. That sets up 2nd and 2, the ball at the 44. We have 5:06 left in quarter number 3. Then Minnesota gets the wind advantage for the final stanza. 2nd and 2. The give is to Peterson. Peterson just short of 1st down yardage. By inches by Cracky. 3rd inches, the ball at the 46 with 4:24 to go. Gain of 2 yards. Berge on the tackle for Cincinnati. Move it up to the 48 for a 1st and 10 with 3:43 left to go in quarter number 3. Tarkenton to give to Peterson. Peterson another 7 yards, and that gets him to the vaulted 100-yard mark on his 19th carry. So Adrian Peterson proving he could carry the mail for the Vikings. 2nd and 3 at the 45. Of course, he was last with the Tennessee Titans, but he did not have what it took for the Titans to keep him. 1st and 10 at the 37. Another gain of 8. That was Tarkenton to Diggs. So it looks like Adrian Peterson's career has seen better days, at least in 2021, 2022. And it's 1st and 10 at the 37. We have 2:15 left to go. Incomplete. Looking for Steve Jordan, but not finding him. 2nd and 10 at the 37. Give to Peterson. Peterson will get him a little closer, 7 yards. And that gets him to 107 yards on the day. That was 2nd and 10. This is now 3rd and 3. 1:24 left. 10th play of the drive. Minnesota seems to have had a lot of drives take several plays as they rack up the 1st down. Tarkenton was looking for Diggs there, incomplete. Critical moment here as Walsh is going to try one from 47 to make it a 2-score game, and that's right down the middle. Vikings lead 17-7 with 35 seconds left to go. Watson's back deep for the kickoff. It's going to be 4 yards deep. We'll take the touch. 35 seconds left. Would like to go long to Hushman Sada while we got the wind advantage. It's caught, and it's a 1st down, a pickup of 18 yards, and that'll do it. We hurry up. We might get another play in. That's what we're going to try. Get one more throw with the wind at our backs. Green, medium pass. But they do not get the playoff. We have reached the end of the third quarter. Minnesota 17 and Cincinnati 7. Minnesota 288 yards on 50 plays. Cincinnati 33 plays and 165. Peterson went over the 100-yard mark in the quarter. And Cincinnati continuing to be a bit anemic when it comes to their offense. But they're playing a very solid defense in Minnesota's. We're going to go Collinsworth, medium cross on 1st and 10 at the 30. That's not a completed pass. Anderson took contact on the throw. He's a little woozy. That was a 1st and 10 play. We're going to screen it to Dillon on 2nd and 10. I think you're going to see a lot of dinks and dunks by the Bengals.
Defense. Number 88, 5-yard penalty.
Now, do I want a 2nd and 5 or do I want a 3rd and 3? I am going to accept the penalty on page and make it 2nd and 5. Dillon, off tackle right side. Dillon close and achieves the first down. 14:25 left in the final quarter. Could be overtime brewing if they got a touchdown and a field goal. They're down 10. Fly to Green on 1st and 10 from the 48. That's over the head of Green. And incomplete. We're going to go over the middle of Hushmanzada. 2nd and 10. That's caught. And that's a gain of 15 yards. 1st and 10 now at the 37. We're going to run with Dillon in the 3-wide set. Sweep to the right side. And that is a gain of 5 yards. 2nd and 5. The ball at the 32. Let's go. Let's see. We're going to go 4 wide. What the hell? Man in motion, short pass to Green. And Minnesota playing short tight. We're going to make it a medium fly route to Green. Anderson runs, and he gets 10 yards and another first down for Cincinnati. 11:56 to go. Collinsworth, medium crossing route. That's incomplete. The receiver's not on the same page as they were bundled up there. And now you got 2nd and 10, the ball at the 22. Sweep right with Dillon. Trying to chop the yardage down, but no gain. Winston on the tackle for the Vikes. 3rd and 10 to go. We're going to go Ross. Medium cross. Incomplete. Well, Cincinnati needs a field goal and a touchdown to tie. The problem is it's a 39-yard field goal. You're kicking into the wind, and the odds are only 39. So I'm going to check Cincinnati's roster, see if we have a long snapper, and we have plenty of long snappers. Johnson is the one the computer calls upon. Okay. Graham's going to have to hit one here. And he does. 17-10 is your new score. With 10:20 left in quarter number 4. Ishmael Nelson Jones back deep. Taken by Ishmael. And that is a return of a very impressive 38 yards. When Minnesota needs plays, they get them. And it's now 1st and 10 for them at the 40. Cincinnati probably would have been better off kicking the ball out of bounds. Incomplete and a penalty.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 13, automatic, 1st down.
Riley called for a PI. 1st and 10 now at the 48. Minnesota. Score would put them up 2 scores. Score of any kind. Tarkenton to Carter for 10. Riley with the tackle just short of the first down. So it's going to be 2nd and a teeny weeny bit Loss of a yard on that play for Peterson. Atkins again comes off, making it 3rd and 1 for Minnesota. And they weren't feeling Minnesota on that. They get to Peterson again. Peterson this time was trapped for a 2-yard loss. 4th and 3, and would you believe it, the Vikings are going for it. See if they get it. Tarkenton, it's complete to Carter. Ball was out. Jordan wrestled it away from everybody else. It's a first down for Minnesota. 8:30 to go, and the ball's at the 39. Throw over the middle. That's Carter, I believe. Yes, it is. A pickup of 21. They caught the Cincinnati defenders flat-footed there. And Minnesota in prime position to take a 2-score lead again. And the clock not the friend of the striped helmet team. That's incomplete. Tarkenton declined Saucer. It was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 18. Give to Peterson. Peterson this time makes up for past sins, gains 7 yards. Spikes, Tikio Spikes again. There for Cincinnati. 3rd and 3, ball at the 11. Crucial play here. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tarkenton to Carter. Not only do they keep the drive alive, they score 23-10. Point after try for Walsh, and life's been good to him so far. 24-10 with 6:10 left to go. I'm going to cough for a moment, so stand by. There we go. Got that out of my system. Watson back deep for Cincinnati. Touchback. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Trailing now 14. Green on a hitch. Cincinnati's got to use the time economically. A gain of 15 yards. They will go no huddle. It's going to be a slant to Green on 1st and 10. Ball to 35. That's incomplete. 2nd and 10. We'll screen it to Dillon. Caught. And that's a gain of 8, setting up 3rd and 2. Quarterback draw. Ken Anderson loses a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th down with 4:44 to go. I'm going to go for it even though I'm on my own side of the field. I'm thinking if I give Minnesota the ball again, they might just chew up the clock. So we're going to go short hitch to Green and hope it's good enough. Anderson, this time he runs again, and that's a scramble of 14 yards down to the 44 of Minnesota. So Cincinnati on the plus side of the field with 3:50 to go. They're going to hurry. Medium pass. Hushmanzada on 1st and 10. Complete. And out of bounds, a gain of 11. And we're down to 3:26 left. Pickens comes into the game as the 4th wide receiver, by the way. Medium fly route to him. See if we can catch a mismatch here. As you sometimes can when you bring a 4th wide receiver in. A pickup of 12. Bobby Bryant for the Vikings makes his 10th tackle of the day. 3:15 left, ball to 21. 1st and 10. No two ways about it. The Bengals need a score here. Green, medium out, 1st and 10. Anderson scrambles again. He fumbles. It was picked up by Steinbach after a gain of 1. No huddle for Cincinnati. Green, medium pass, 2nd and 9. And that went to Corey Dillon, who picks up a yard. Dillon, 5 catches, 25 yards. And they're not going to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning, so we will take it. Bengals trailing 24-10, but it's taking them a lot of time to score. Vikings with 2 timeouts left. No challenges. Bengals with 3, 1 challenge, which was not going to be significant from this point of the game onward. Cross to Collinsworth. Incomplete. Now you got to go for it. 4th and 8. Cincinnati sending the whole kit and caboodle. 5 wide receivers. And we're going to look to A.J. Green. They don't hit this. I guess you could turn out the lights because the party will be over. Just like the party was over in L.A. very, very quickly. And that is picked off by Carl Lee. Brought down at the 8 after a return of 11 yards. So he was 3 yards deep in his end zone. 1:45 left. And the Vikes whiffed the ball after the turnover. And that was turnover number 2 for the Bengals. And now Cincinnati's got to use all their timeouts. Carter, a 9-yard grab to get a season high of 8 catches. And Cincinnati is calling time and hoping against hope they can get the ball back. 2nd and 1 at the 17. Fans are filing out of Paul Brown Stadium. Gain of a yard. So a first down, and there's almost no way that Cincinnati can get the ball back now if Minnesota is smart with it. Gain of 2, we'll call our last time out for Cincinnati, but this one is over. 1:27 to go. Tarkenton taking a knee. And then they run a play with Peterson. He gets a first down. Now it is really over for sure. 35 seconds left. And we can go on to other things. Minnesota 24, Cincinnati 10 is your final. MVP of the game was Fran Tarkenton, who I see on Facebook all the time giving analysis. Tarkenton has to be up there in years by now because he retired in 78. And he was playing his college ball at Georgia in 1960, so he's got to be at least 80, I would think. Fran, if you're not at least 80, I apologize. I always liked him on television. He did Monday Night Football games. He did a little show called That's Incredible, and when his Monday Night Football games were over, he said, I don't want to call football anymore. Didn't get along with Frank Gifford from what I heard about Monday Night Football. It was in Bill Carter's book back in the 80s or 90s. The same book that said that on one night in Philadelphia in 1970, Howard Cosell threw up over Don Meredith's boots. So here is your scoring summary. Anderson was not the MVP. Frank Tarkenton was. 361 yards for Minnesota, 261 for Cincinnati. Minnesota perfect in the red zone, 3 touchdowns on 3 trips. Cincinnati only 1 for 3. They were stymied. Minnesota was lethal on third downs, 10 for 14. Had the better time of possession. They ran 63 plays to Cincinnati's 53. And we'll go through the player stats. It was Tarkenton having the better day, 94.8 rating, 21-32, 232, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Peterson had the better rushing day, 26-124. Chris Carter, 8 catches, 94 yards, and he also led in yardage. And you know I always like to look at the leading tackler. That was Bobby Bryant of Minnesota with 10. So our next game, as we move into the third column of the games to be played box, is going to be, first we will mention Minnesota moves to 3-0 and Cincinnati falls to 1-2. Atlanta and Miami from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Then on Thursday we will go to the Great Northwest, Los Angeles at Seattle, then New York, Philadelphia will be our game on Friday. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. I enjoyed bringing it to you. This has been Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.